Hello everybody and welcome to the Lotus Fire Showroom. My name is Pyre and we're live today with me trying to find my buttons. Here we go. Pyre! Oh no, I forgot. I forgot the light.
Again?
The light.
What happened to the on-off button?
What do you mean?
Have you not seen it?
No.
It's basically weared away right, like the cover of the button's weared away right down to like the actual button.
I think you're trying to say worn, but what?
Worn.
What?
Take a look at it.
Wow. Maybe I dropped it? I don't know. That is weird. But that's just the one button. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So last time we beat one of the liberation rites.
Yep. Can you stick this on the charger?
No.
Yes.
Leaving us with about two of them, I think. 2 or 3.
Yeah, something like that. You prevailed in the liberation against the fate. Already does the black wagon feel quieter than usual without Faye, who returned to the Commonwealth. You overhear some of your companions reflecting on this.
Oh, we read this part earlier,
So I'm gonna hurt myself!
Oh, Ada.
Ooh,
Always a little jokester, ain't you?
She hath passed from this place along with all of her excellency. Ooh, that's a hard one.
Eccentricities.
It's really hard to do with the voice.
May her absence spur us all to greater glory.
You wonder who, if anyone among you,
No, don't start bugging
shall
me.
be the next to go.
This guy. Quiet until he hears the ruffling of a bag, and then all of a sudden... Our plan approaches a key turning point. Let us ensure it soon comes to fruition. Not only for ourselves,
But the Commonwealth as well.
but we have little time for now to reflect. Whatever he says. Look at the stars. Pick the next place to go.
You turn your attention to the glimmering of the stars. Their current rate of disappearance suggests another liberation rite shall be coming very soon.
The few remaining stars will shine for you. Oh, yeah, the last time you picked it, but I don't remember what.
I don't remember what either.
You're not getting anything!
Hi! Are you hearing the ruffle? Your ears are all perked and everything. Let's see. Withdrawn is them. And there's people down that way, which makes sense. What's this number for?
The amount of times
victories
they
and
won
defeats.
against that person. No.
Victories and defeats. Times they have prevailed and times they've been defeated.
Oh, totally, yeah, okay.
Jesus Christ.
Looks like the Pyre hearts suck.
They have the most losses out of everybody.
Who has the most wins?
You mean us with 22 and 0 defeats?
None of them are breaching. Oh wow, the Essence are actually kicking butt.
The Essence are these ones?
Mhm.
Yeah, with the 13-8. Nobody else really is that high. I kind of want to put them in their place.
Let's damn it though.
There she is. I don't want Tamitha to leave.
Mm-hmm.
She can have her butt kicked.
Now the stars bid you to return to the Glade of Blue, where you shall stand against the Essence once again. Your adversary, Tamitha Thane, likely knows the cycle of the rites is drawing to a close. Her last remaining chance to earn her the favor of the scribes and then regain her freedom likely hinges on the outcome of this next rite. The cycle of the rites is soon to the end. The exiles of the downside, striving to be free. Your adversaries, your companions, even you yourself are running out of time.
Tamitha is next to be released. Either her or Tito.
Tarek!
And look at the book real quick.
The book cannot accompany you if you should earn your freedom. It is to remain here for your successors, for it is bound together inextricably with us. There is no sorcery, however, to prohibit you from spreading forth its teachings. We charge you to go forth and share what you have learned among your path. Reveal not the rites themselves, nor the existence of this book. Transcend its bounded limitations, for it cannot be transcribed. I don't need to be wearing this.
No, you don't.
Any such attempt shall fail. Beware of those who would dare to read it on the other side. Under their guise of seeking wisdom may yet lurk a much darker desire to undo what we strive to do so. Strive to do? But that's not the one.
No?
Oh yeah, I guess.
It was.
Following Faye's liberation, the lone minstrel has returned to the wagon and stands as though nothing has happened here this night. He tilts his head as you approach. Once more, the Night Wings have prevailed in the liberation rite under your mindfulness, reader. A commendable achievement. Ow.
You okay?
I just scratched like the inside of my eye.
Ooh.
Surely Faye shall live out her days in gratitude to you and your companions. Perhaps you may now seek Jodariel there in your commonwealth. I should think Jodariel would have liked to witness what took place this night. I trust that together they shall make a formidable difference to the plan which all of you are endeavor to achieve. Now, for the time, Celeste and I are to return to our respective stations. We all await the next turn of the cycle of the rites. May you prevail once more when we traverse Scribe's Gate. Until then, reader, rest well under the stars. He nods and leaves you to recover after a long night.
The driving in's just chilling. Damn it! I went off screen again. Okay. Continue your journey.
At dawn, your companions are prepared to depart. Everyone is silent. Your travels are to take you back to the Glade of Blue. But soon after, the stars shall draw you here again. Soon after. Immediately after?
Yeah. There's like only 2 others other than the Patriots that we're competing against to be with Wilfred.
Some kind of spy there, I guess.
Well, what would you prefer?
Time for vocations. Your turn. It doesn't really matter. We're not playing with a lot of difficulty modifiers.
Yeah. Okay. Just the time.
Foreboding feeling stuck with you since your arrival in the leaves and branches of Needlefield. Some of it spreads to others in the group. Tomorrow is another day, but for the time, we'll have to ride this out.
Being stuck out here like this sure isn't doing me any favors.
You decide to focus on pursuing your vocations until the black wagon is ready to move.
Let's go ahead and do this.
Really, Volfred and... yeah, I'd say Volfred. I should be interested to see which lessons you have taken from the book. You find a remote spot where you and Volfred can discuss any of his misgivings or fears about your journey or your fellow exiles. Conversation gives perspective and relief. When we can speak of fear out in the open, we come closer to achieving freedom. Our struggles are not ours alone to bear.
Time to continue.
That's a solid, like, quote.
Yeah, it really is. Are you excited by the sound of the bag? You're definitely drooling. He's like, oh, hey, Mom, I'll fix that for you. Okay, let's see what he has to say.
Hey guys, say, whatever happened to that Faye you brought in here sometimes? You know, the loopy one, frizzy hair, always handling all the merchandise. I liked her. Yeah, it's pretty dust. Not that we can do anything with it, actually.
Yeah. I'm gonna have this one.
No. It just resets masters.
Okay.
They didn't buy nothing, Dad.
Sorry, dude. You don't have anything we can buy. Ugh.
The afternoon is just beginning to give way to nightfall as you and your companions finish making preparations for the coming rite. Through all the ceremony, you realize Pamitha is nowhere to be found. The last anybody saw of her was shortly after the Black Wagon came to rest here at the Glade of Lou. She returns just as you are beginning to plan a search for her.
Sorry to have worried you there, reader darling. Just getting a little antsy is all. Tried to go spread my wings a bit and shake away the nerves.
She's holding something back.
Don't you get in my head. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth, damn it. Damn you, reader. Get out, get out, get out! Anyhow, it looks as if the show's about to start. I shall be in the field with the others.
As Pamitha departs, you see she is right as the stars above begin to shine. You know she is about to face her sister Tamitha once again. You accept that this is a very private matter between them. Are they all there?
I don't know why those two keep shining.
Yeah, those three we used last time too.
Yep. We used all three and they're all
Maybe it's
still
because we used them before.
Maybe.
It seems the stars once more have mustered wherewithal to usher in the night.
Wherewithal.
The sky
The pure audacity of these stars.
I know why I'm feeling all
surely
wonky.
you must know by now.
I'm in the wrong chair.
All be free. Yet still you struggle to fulfill some sense.
Hand it over.
Nope.
Yeah.
Now my leg's hurting me.
Some of us still honor the tradition. Some of
Right,
us
can I get
hold
this?
dear the
Yeah, sure.
lives.
Some of us still hold dear the teaching of the scribes. The winged exiles of the Essence take position opposite your companions, and their leader soon asserts herself.
Pamitha, come forth. No trickery this time.
She appears as asked, though remains silent as her blood sister studies her for a time. Tamitha then reaches for her mask.
You look wary to me, sister.
She's terrifying, holy crap.
Yes, she is. Oh, too little sleep, I guess. I do get rather anxious sometimes. On the night before one of these things, it can be a lot of pressure. Understandable.
Two of them say nothing for a time. You cannot discern what they are thinking. The Highwood remnants all seem to be very mentally acute, trained as they are from birth. Soon enough, Pamitha cuts through the tension. Her tone is light as ever.
So, given further thought to my proposal then? I have. And I think that now is not the time for talk. Besides, your comrades there, surely you gave them pause. Even now they must be questioning your loyalty. What? But Oh, cut it with the stammering, Pamitha. It's very unbecoming. You know that. And you be sure to tell those comrades of yours what you propose to me. She dons her mask once more.
As she rejoins the other exiles of the Essence, Pamitha hesitates before returning to your group.
I told her she could take my place. That I would keep her up to date about our progress, and that she could take my place if ever it was time for me to go. But you don't have to worry. For one thing, she refused, and for another, well, I better tell you later. For now, remember you can count on me.
Interesting.
I mean, they're doing well for themselves.
Let's see here. Alright, Pamitha's already decked out, but like, I'm gonna choose. Tizo. The blood feud concerns us all, not only Pamitha. We Nightwings have a simple rule. We stand together.
Face us, Westerls of the Commonwealth. The pain and loss of your defeat this night shall reverberate not only in the hollow hearts, but in the homeland that abandoned you.
Dog, they don't give a crap about us.
Yep. Are you quite sure it has to be this way, then, sister? There is no compromise here, Pamitha. Not for traitors to my country or my blood. I understand. Then, so be it.
What's the button? I forgot how to dash. How to fly. Flutter is this one. Nice! Get him, Tizo!
You seem so distracted, Pamitha. Is there something you wish to say to me? Words you feel that I am owed, perhaps?
Hammerstone stops at this and reaches for her mask.
I'm sorry for what I did to you, sister. For what you did to me? Your apology rings hollow as your plumage. You might rehearse it further upon every last survivor of the High Wing remnants. Now, no more talk!
I mean, you're the one who called out to him.
Hatred spewing constantly from Tamitha. Yet here in exile, she is not but talk.
I love how he was talking about them and then went,
No. Oops. That was a bit goofy on my end.
yeah.
Huh? This is fine. Oof!
He is so biased towards them.
Fudge.
What was that?
What was
At the bottom of the screen, suddenly there was just, yeah!
that? Oh, like fans and such?
Yeah.
Oh no, Volfred, why are you still gone?
He came back and then he was sent away.
Got the banishment sickness big time. Alright, here we go. Get that power shot.
Summoning sickness.
No, it's banishment in this game.
Oh, yeah.
Don't touch me. Thanks.
Right, because I said banishment and you said summoning last time.
No, I said summoning and it was supposed to be banishment. Dude, she didn't even get... Nice. She stayed unbanished. Nerd! Haha, not try. Do more like that, we win. Yeah, she gets back because she has Triesta's plume. Oh, you killed the little sapling. Oops. Oh, trailing stuff. Alright. Infinite zipping!
Yeah! Good teaser!
Okay, hang on. I need stamina.
Sorry, you wanting to come back?
And it is done. Scracky!
There you go. Go back to your spot. He's like, I don't know if I want to go back to my spot. You win, blood sister. You win. I don't suppose that means you'll reconsider? You know that I cannot. You are always obstinate. But in that regard, and all others which count for anything, you're inferior to me. Remember that.
F.
What you offered is meaningless to me. I shall free myself without your help, or that of anyone. Now then, farewell.
Okay, she doesn't realize it's the last couple rides.
Right? Wait. What of your comrades? The essence. You must need them, at least. Mincing my words as ever, Pamitha. Know that I do love you in a way. Is that what you wish to hear? But my purpose is plain, and you stand in its way. You are the fool. You are a fool to think my freedom is my goal. My freedom is a means towards an end like which you never would abide.
The likes of which you would never buy.
Do you think that you could sway me from my purpose, Pamitha?
Pamitha remains silent for some time.
No. I think that you will struggle to destroy the Commonwealth. No matter what it takes. No matter if in doing so, you are destroyed instead. Just so. So then, you understand me after all.
Tamitha does not turn to watch her blood sister depart. Tizo! Tizo! A hidden power, a terrible unbridled fury seems to have awakened within Tizo. All in all, he seems very enthusiastic about it. That way, yeah.
This one?
Yep.
Praise be to Haub the Swallow.
How-
So folks have learned a thing or two. So what?
It is possible our plan shall not succeed, despite our fiercest efforts herein in the Commonwealth. But I know for certain that our efforts shall not be in vain. We learn and strive together. We prevail or we fail together on this path we share. It has been and shall continue to be my greatest honor.
This one?
Yep.
Tis the wisdom of old 100 minds.
She did not get enough.
I eagerly await.
She didn't participate, so she gets a boost next time.
Yeah. You dropped one on the ground, so he's going after it.
Inside the wagon, after triumphing over the essence, Tizo is discussing aspects of the outcome with the others when the lone minstrel seeks you out. Pardon the interruption, Rita, though I need to ask a moment of your time while the night is clear enough for you to see. Please come have a look outside. Perhaps the news of your destination may further stir the heart of your companions. Among what stars yet remain shining in the night, one of them now burns as bright as you ever seen. Solium. The golden star. Oh, we have to duke it out with the...
Yo.
The cycle turns even more quickly now, until such time as it shall shudder to a halt. He makes a sound then, almost like a laugh. I forget myself, Rita. I should not say such things. The scribes, they would say that one ought focus on the path in front of her. When we set forth to walk along a labored path, it can be all too much. If we stand back and look upon it as a whole, we may well yet decide to turn around. But if we begin to walk whilst casting down our gaze and whilst resisting well the urge to look too far ahead, we may make steady, careful progress. Soon enough we may arrive where we endeavored. The lone minstrel bids you a good evening. You had best retire for the night, but when first daylight comes, it shall be time again to take to the skies. Who wants to speak? Yeah, unsurprisingly, actually.
Yeah.
Despite Pamitha's mental conditioning, you can tell something is troubling her.
She won't listen to a word I say. Not one damn word. If she weren't my blood sister, I should think I'd hate her guts as much as she hates mine.
She shakes her head.
I should apologize to you and everyone. I sought out Tamitha without asking your leave. Figured I would rather seek forgiveness than permission. You understand?
Brahm from Aragon?
My attempts with Tamitha didn't amount to much, as you well saw. So at this point, I'm hopeful you'll be more accepting of the apologies than she. Though, tell me something, Rita, darling. Do you suppose I'm going to betray you? You may know better than I do at this point.
You expressed to Pamitha that you do not view her efforts to make peace with Tamitha as being contradictory to the group's larger goals. You understand why she did what she did. She says nothing for a while.
That's kind of you to say, darling. May the others see it with such generosity. But if they don't, you need to tell me. You need but tell me to depart, and I'll be on my way. However, I've a promise that I wish to make to you. Sorry, the way I was saying that did not make sense. You let me stay, and I'll see this through with all of you, no matter where we all end up. But I'll be on the roof for a bit. I think you take care, too, darling.
Despite Pamitha's disappointment with the outcome of her confrontation with her blood sister, you sense she is less troubled now after your brief conversation.
Okay. I like how the latest page that we got from the book was,
Leave us down here.
yeah. And don't talk about us.
They'll talk about the rights, not about them.
Yeah. Don't talk about the rights, but talk about what you've learned.
Hi, Orlek. The wagon reels from the impact of some sort of massive object slamming into it mid-flight. False night wings. Orlek calls down to all of you from atop his wagon. Again you seek to climb that cursed mountain beneath us. Again you seek to take my rightful place. I should send you crashing down to it, that you might fall as I have. He stares down all of you. But I shall not. Rather, we shall meet upon the summit ere the last cycle of the rites is ended. Until then. Tamitha shall gain favor. Tizo shall gain favor.
Who would you prefer?
Why do you keep asking me?
Because it affects your fighting.
It's the third time in 2 days that I've said it doesn't matter. Make landing on the sacred Mount Elodial after your encounter with Orlek. Orlek spoke the truth. He has a right to gain the summit when the time comes. Celeste shall deem him worthy and shall let him pass. While he has transgressed against the rites, he has also already been anointed and prevailed. Nothing is written in the book on this, and liberty ought already be his. For the time, it seems that he has not yet traveled to the summit. Perhaps he is still making preparations with his fellow exiles. When exactly Orlek intends to make good on his promise, he did not make clear. For now, you are able to to confront Udmilde and the withdrawn upon the summit. But first, you may prepare.
No one wishes to speak.
Later that afternoon, you accompany Tizo through the great heights of Temple High Road to the monument of Luz Gloriam. Now, Galderno, friend, I know that you and all the scribes are watching over me and all of us, and I am grateful to you. This is the second time we've had Tizo pray here. Your ancient rites are ending soon. I promise you, my friends and I will make the most of our last few chances here. You return to the wagon after he's finished paying his respects. The summit awaits, but first there's time to continue practicing your vocations. Tizo gains 2 presents. Oh. Tizo seems to be in the midst of conversation with the lone minstrel as you approach the two of them. The little imp appears perturbed about something. And above all, he was very, very loyal, fiercely so, in fact. All throughout the land knew better than to underestimate him, in spite of his little stature. In that respect, Tizo, and in many others, I might add, your great-grandfather was very much like you.
Yeah?
Tizo seems to be asking the lone minstrel to confirm he is not playing some sort of prank. For real?
For real?
Aye, I'm being serious. Have you known me to be the jesting sort? Tizo seems to be admitting the lone minstrel has always been sincere with him.
You did turn on the right mic, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just so, then please do not denigrate yourself, for you are not only his heir, but you are my remaining link to him, and thus to all the 8. And more importantly, you are my friend. Grateful to the lone minstrel for his kind words, and considers him a friend as well. The Nightwings need you now, more so than ever. Then the lone minstrel turns to you. Is that not so, Rita? You could just trash on Tizo?
Oh,
What
no,
sort of
thank
monster?
You.
Concur with the lone minstrel's assessment of Tizo as a most remarkable and irreplaceable member of the group. He is an extraordinary imp indeed. At this, Tizo rushes up to you and gives you an imp hug. Grateful to you for your kindness and your support of him. Tizo bounds off happily as the lone minstrel looks on. And there he goes. Thank you indeed, Rita. Tizo sometimes loses sight of all that makes him special, a quality uncharacteristic of his kind, but not so much uncommon among yours. Once there was a time when he was the sole imp able to conduct the rites. Since then, however, other triumvirates have found imps with the capacity for it. They make for useful allies, no, more than willing to conduct the rites, whilst having no desire to leave this place, although little Tizo does have dreams of visiting the Commonwealth. In any case, I am certain he shall continue to serve the Nightwings faithfully. The lone minstrel bows his head on his way out, bidding you a good rest of the afternoon. Oh, double buff for Tizo, let's go!
And I figured I'd do this for Gertrude.
Yeah, I guess I would max her out, yeah. It will not max her out, but it will give her a decent amount. But,
Very well, then. Educate us, if thou canst.
you and Gertrude discuss the meaning of the rites, developing a deeper understanding of this contest, created to determine the worthy from among all those pitted against each other. Ooh, so close, so
The height
close.
of the sorcerer's power formed from the basis of the rites our predecessors gained such knowledge throughout their
Travails.
travails.
Essentially saying trials and tribulations.
Yeah. I wanted to say travels, and then I was like, wait a minute, that's not quite right.
Scribes Gate. A messenger imp with news and rumors from the other side somehow tracks you down in the solemn beauty of Mount Elodial. The imp's message pertains to Faye, who you liberated at the fall of Solium, and whose past transgressions have all been forgiven since her return to the Commonwealth. You learn that she was taken in by a well-to-do foster family, and to be given private schooling of the highest order in the Astralist tradition. I think we're going to read the...
Yeah.
Theocratic sect believing divine authority rests with the stars. They alone dictate the future. We all return... Okay. They promised her that, in time, she might one day have the honor of teaching the children of the Commonwealth herself. However, she soon went her own way, insisting that the 8 scribes themselves were calling to her. She started wandering again, all on her own. That is until she located Volfred's agents. Thus her wandering ceased, and the ranks of the revolution grew stronger. Faye also left a simple message. Believe in the scribes. You thank the messenger imp for the report, as your companions gathered to discuss.
So she agreed to being fostered, but then she went, like, despite the fact that she was on her way to becoming a teacher.
Over many years of work, probably.
Yeah. They were like, no. She's like, no. I'm being called right now.
Well, it's more like, remember how she hears things, she can hear the scribes around her, right? So, like, they were like, oh, do this, and at first, I guess when she made it there, it was kind of like, she wasn't hearing it, but then eventually she's like, oh, but they're calling me this way. It's not so much as, like, I need to do a job now, it's, I hear them calling me, and she probably just walked off, knowing her.
Yeah. She better be more careful, else they'll throw her right back in here with the rest of us.
Hee-hoom! Tizo misses having Faye around, though he is pleased to hear that she is well.
I love how Pam says, like, she needs to be careful. That one, very powerful indeed. A sorceress of sorts. A certain air about her, most intriguing.
She has the manner of a saint, that one. She knows in her heart the traditions of the scribes. The news of Faye's liberation fills you and your fellow exiles with newfound resolve. So it's always funny to me that, like, we get a buff right before this one because of the last one.
Yeah.
Because it didn't occur to me for a long while that, like, sometimes you don't win these, or you liberate somebody that's not from your team, so you wouldn't get that buff. You all return once to Scribe's Gate, where the Gate Guardian awaits under a dim sky.
The exiles of the Night Wings, and you, Tarek. This is to be one of our final meetings.
Greetings, Celeste. The Night Wings are prepared, and afterwards I would have words with you in private, if you please.
It seems to me rather late for words now, Tarek, but I shall hear them once your charges cross the gate. Now, all of you, come forth. Please state your names and what it is you seek whilst crossing the Scribe's Gate. That's interesting to me, that they're his charges, and, like, he has moon, she has sun. When you look at their...
Yeah, I see that.
outfits.
It's very subdued, but it is part of their designs, you're right.
Yeah. But I also think it's interesting. One of the teams will become his charge.
Well, so, like, it's implied that before the Nightwings got together, he would just wander around the downside.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't been at Scribe's Gate for a while, but his official job is, in fact, what she does. It's just that he chooses to be mobile.
Yeah.
Once more, your companions cross the gate, one after another, and once more, you follow them in turn. Celeste regards you all, and then waves you through towards the summit.
The 8 scribes bid the Night Wings welcome. Go forth with glory. And you, Tarek?
Aye, Celeste.
You may rejoin the others in a while. For now, I would hear those words of yours.
There are definitely certainly Celeste, the most mysterious of the characters we see in this game.
Yeah.
Everyone, I shall see you shortly.
Like, I want to know what they're talking about.
It also sounds like he knew the 8 scribes personally.
Yeah. Because he was talking about the grandfather and...
Haub.
Like, he knew him.
Oh, hey, guys, it's gotten real cold up here, but it's worth it, let me tell you. Gotta love customers been stopping by. Okay, I may have been exaggerating just a little bit. since I have been waiting here a little while, yes. But are you buying anything? No. Peace out, Ron. Be seeing you around then, huh?
Poor guy.
Commence the liberation rite. The time has come again to deliver one of your fellow exiles to a homecoming in the Commonwealth, lest your adversaries, the withdrawn, achieve the same instead. I don't want them to achieve that for sure.
Yeah.
The lone minstrel has returned and approaches as you await the signal from the stars. There is something that I wish to ask you, reader, something which ordinarily would not be my place to discuss in any detail. You have observed the stars. If you would not mind my asking you in such a direct manner, how many liberation rites are you supposing yet remain?
2, including this one now.
You tell him the only logical deduction which you have been able to make based on all of your readings of the stars of late, that there shall be one final liberation rite after tonight. I concur with your evaluation, reader, madam. I wish to make certain that you were aware, so that you and the Nightwings may yet make the most of your remaining time together thus. As to what shall happen once the final liberation rite is ended, we soon shall both find out. But lo, it seems that we are called upon once more. Look forth.
Pamitha and Tizo. I don't care which one. So you can pick.
That's not how this works.
I'm saying it because it's gonna affect your gameplay.
That's not how this works. The story is important. Who goes first?
Fine, Pamitha. Tizo can go next.
Reader, I would ask that you think back.
Okay. There is...
What?
Okay. I'll send Pamitha.
On
Okay.
the Book of Rights.
Am I not gonna be able to get Tizo out?
Words that it
I'm not saying any of that.
oblige the voice that tells you more. Oblige the voice that tells you more. Would
How about you
the
chill?
scribes were here among us still, I would not sing your praises to them, rest assured.
The scribes would probably hate the way the Commonwealth works.
That you shall sing
Yep.
on this occasion. You shan't have to oblige me for what
No, you know what? Send Tizo home.
You sure?
Yeah. This isn't fair.
Why?
Because you're not helping. The pyres burn, and each of the triumvirites, I said that wrong,
Yes, you did.
is present and prepared.
I concur. The pyres burn and each of the triumvirates is present and prepared.
Then the anointed one of the withdrawn, come forth now and declare yourself, and pay any respects you have unto your adversaries, the Nightwings.
The bog dweller Udmilde appears from the shadows and reaches for her mask.
As we've known to be the witch Umanda, our adversaries, they are nothing to us, or the one we serve,
The way their horns grow, it's so odd.
right? Ye all shall be devoured in the coming age, an age of strife, wrought down by the fall wings and the many-seeing eyes of Yalsh, the astral-born. You speak blasphemy upon this sacred site, Mildahide. If you value your liberty, then I suggest you cease your mocking of the scribes. The scribes, they failed to stop Yeshua, and he shall rise again. As for ye, Nightwings, ye are of no consequence in Yelsh's grand design.
She dons her mask once more.
Soon ye shall return unto the land which Yelsh shall usurp, where we shall offer him our blood and that of many, many others.
Minus 20 to our pyre. Oof.
Nightwings, your choice. In whose name shall you conduct this liberation rite?
I wish you the wisdom of the scribes in making your choice, Rita.
And I wish you come to prepare our song with me, Turk.
Whom shall you attempt to send home this time?
We can send literally anybody except Bertrude.
Well, we decided that Fulford and Bertrude would stay, so it's between Tizo and Pamitha. Send Pamitha. You really like playing with Tizo.
We shouldn't take that into consideration.
Why?
Because it's not relevant.
Fine, fine. Send Tizo.
You sure? Last choice.
He'll be the first imp to ever go.
Tizo seems stunned by your decision, though is very grateful to you for it all the same.
Who shall strive for him?
I'm sorry, Panther. You're next.
We stand with you this night, Tizo. Let us prevail here and now.
Tamitha is next. For that one, for the reading one, we shall do this. Soon, Yashka, very soon, we shall release thee. We shall release thee. And as for ye, Nightwings, we have much in store for thee.
You can actually hear her say Eastlack's name, voice acted, whenever she has the soundbite. She goes like, Eastlack. I'm like, oh, what a fudge!
Right. I'm like, at least I can sort of pronounce it.
I'm gonna blow this one, thanks. And this one. Don't touch me.
She'll be at max after this.
Yep.
But I'm leaving the couple behind.
Couple's a big word. I think they were romantically involved in the past. Hello! Oh no. Woo! You tried.
Inner glory, inner glory.
Yeah, he gets a little buff there.
Oh, you walked right into that.
Just gonna leap. Oh, yeah, okay. We hit him twice, they should be at 50, correct?
Yeah, they are.
Nice. Just gonna scoot on over real quick. 30, baby! What you gonna do?
Yashlak, we invoke thee, for we seek thy ancient strength. Befall our enemies within thy blood. Damnation to the Night Wings. Damnation to the scribes.
The invocation of Eastlack. Your adversary, which administered this curse, shall summon forth dark pools of banishing ichor, wheresoever any exile is banished here this night. Oh, we got our squad back too. Yeah. Who's got the? I do. Okay. I was like, who has it? Trying to outrun an imp? You fool! He has infinite stamina. Freedom is thine, Tizo the Wise.
Tizo, 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 Tizo.
MVP! 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 Now we Gatorade him.
We don't have any Gatorade. Wait, yes we do!
He'll never get it out of his fur. It'll be the first time an imp makes their way up from... That's not true, the messenger imps do it, but like a straight up downside imp.
Yeah. Know this affront against Yishlak has been recorded. His vengeance shall darken the skies. I lost the voice somewhere in there because it was just hurting my throat. I gave up. He's white.
Yeah, they're wearing the white liberation raiments.
Oh.
Every one of them has done it so far.
Okay, I didn't notice.
Tizo is stunned by what transpired and by what he thinks is about to happen. He looks around as the reality of what transpired sinks in. He now realizes that this is goodbye, at least for the time. He struggles to express the gratitude he feels at having served the Nightwings these many years. He also does not know what to expect from the Commonwealth and whether he will be accepted. Nevertheless, he vows that he will keep doing his part to the benefit of Wolfred's plan. With that, he splashes into the shimmer pool and is gone from view. You hear him chirping one last time. Tizo wishes for the best for each of you and asks that you remember him. Tizo has earned his freedom. May he return in glory.
Godspeed, Tizo.
The first imp to be liberated amongst the rights.
Tamitha is next. Basically, I've only freed one person who is not in our party. Otherwise, one more person would have been done. Ugh, my throat.
Wait, we didn't free anybody that wasn't in our party.
Yes, we did. We talked about it when we did my rights, my tier list.
You thought we did, but we never freed anybody.
There was a dog. Not the old dog, but the other dog.
Nope.
Yeah, I freed somebody.
No, you didn't.
Yes, we did. We discussed it when we looked at my
You said
things.
you thought the only other dog that's a leader is Barker, and you definitely didn't free Barker.
There was one who was a leader that I freed.
No, that would be Dulbert, and we didn't free him.
No, the one because the one who's a rocker took over the group.
No.
Yeah.
Barker was always the group. What? Are you talking about a rocker dog?
Yeah. Pull up my thing. He's the head of my B rank, I think.
That's Dulbert. We didn't free him. We fought him last time. Not this.
That
Rookie? Rookie was with us.
one. Oh, yeah.
We have to have one of each tribe.
Oh, yeah. He was in our party.
Yes.
Okay. My throat hurts. Long we have sought to fathom all the darkest secrets hidden by the light of the stars. Now, at last, the stars themselves revoke their stations in the night, and we have finally achieved an inkling of this.
Once per right, she can transform her enemies into animals.
But yeah, the two people who don't want to leave, I'm leaving behind.
That's usually the logic I went with, too.
Maybe in another playthrough, I might, free a whole bunch of people.
You return to the wagon after having prevailed against the withdrawn in the liberation rite. Excellently done, Nightwings.
We would that we make a good of all such incidents.
I'm trying to figure out her body shape. So this is her back. This is all hair.
Yeah. She's like a worm.
They're snakes, clearly.
Yeah, they're snakes, and then yeah.
But for the longest time, I thought they just had a really thick. But no, they're just really crouched over.
Yeah.
That adds a new. Okay, cool. Little dudes in a cape.
Is it her hair or is it a cape?
I think it's part of her cloak or it's her hair because her hair seems to be snakes. But also, this is clearly not skin or anything. You can see through it. There's
looks like it's her hair.
You can see that through it. There's scales. Like this is her, the white stuff.
Yeah.
But that's not her. Or if it is, it's sprouting from her head. But it looks like it could be like a crest or something.
Yeah.
And then she's got a
that's
cloak
possible.
over it.
Okay.
You succeeded in liberating Tizo, who returned to the Commonwealth in glory.
Not return. Went for the first
The
time.
last light of the stars still shines for us above. At this point, what is to become our plan needn't be the subject of our speculation. I trust that we'll learn the outcome soon enough. 89%.
Gonna
Our
send
actions
Tamitha
to
and
this
I'll
point
be
shall
better.
pave the way. Perhaps our faith as well. So let's for now focus on this. We stand upon the brink of the last turn of the cycle of the rites. Soon we'll have a final chance to get one of you home. Now, reader, up for a little stargazing. Let's see where in the downside we shall be returning for these final rites. You turn back towards the darkness to look upon the last few stars, too stubborn to relinquish their lights.
There's 3. So basically, we have withdrawn or
The withdrawn defilers of the rites. Oh wow, they're just cut out. They will not be participating.
yeah. So they
They have a pretty bad loss ratio too. Yikes.
yeah. I think we beat the crap out of them in the beginning.
We would have played against them 3 or 4 times, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Where are the stars? Where'd the stars go?
Down, straight down.
There they are. Okay. I so badly want to.
This loser! We've only played against the Tempers once.
Yeah. And like it's these three, those two are versing each other. So it's these three that we're picking. So you're saying you want to...
I'm just saying, we've only played against them once. What's the other choice? Who's that hug?
Beat him so bad.
Okay, yeah. Choose whichever one you want.
It's so much fun beating the living shit out of this
Then
guy.
beat him. Get a 4-0 against him.
Nah, we've only done this
Black
guy
Fans.
once. We actually haven't gone to that spot very often either.
Once more, you are to face the Tempers then, although I wonder. He hesitates before saying anything further. You cannot sense his thoughts. I apologize. I was lost in thought there for a moment. Let us make way for the Ridge of Gold when everyone is feeling more refreshed, as much as possible.
Ah, the accusers.
What about the accusers?
Well, we're an uneven amount right now that are fighting. Doing the rights, correct?
Reader, though you shall always bear a burden, it is much lighter than the burden of a lonesome exile. Go forth and become free, then join with others such as you and lead with mercy, continuing to demonstrate your worth. And knowing that the Empire's fall formed the foundation of our Commonwealth, you shall cease to be a reader and become a voice both to the free and to your successors here, who shall take up this book when you no longer need it. The cycle of the right shall see it to it that you, and others like you, shall be liberated, ere the coming of another age. May the stars shine ever brightly on us all. That's right, for it to be a voice, it has to be a reader that goes up. Even though allegedly readers can't.
Yeah, because they're going, readers can't be freed, but in fact they can be.
Mm-hmm. Well, they're saying that the reader can, and then we were told by the voice that they can't.
Yeah.
Sparkly thing in its center is, in fact, its heart, which it airs out from time to time. A keepsake from the Sea of Solace. Only a monster would attempt to remove the heart, or would have the strength. The lone minstrel has returned already to the wagon after Tizo's homecoming to the Commonwealth and the Liberation Rite.
Oh, so he goes up there and he sees it.
No.
Oh.
Your companions are most grateful to you, Rita. Would that Faye could have been here with the rest of them to witness Tizo's glorious return. I trust that they soon shall reunite, there in your Commonwealth, where they may yet contribute to the outcome of your plan, and thus create a place that welcomes all of you. May you and your companions to continue to prevail thus. For now, Celeste and I are to return to our respective roles until we meet again at Scribe's Gate. Rest well for now, Rita. He bids you a good rest of the night.
I did like that we got to see Orlick inside the wagon and realize that it's not his wagon anymore.
Yeah, that was a very nice scene.
Yeah, it was full of trinkets and everything from adventures that we did.
He was like, dang, people have been using this.
Yeah.
Nesting Tizo. It is daybreak. You are to set forth now for the Bridge of Gold, for what appears to be the final time. Thereafter, you shall return here for one last exile's final chance at liberty.
Too bad we can't send our whole party.
You can dash with R2. No, but the plan itself... Oh.
Sisters, we are under attack. Hold, no. We're merely being mocked. By none other than the Nightwings, mocking us all you wish, then Westrels of the Commonwealth. The sight of you in that utterly outlandish wagon, your mere existence is enough front to the act of our flight. You're the ones who got in the way. Would that my sisters and I could soar tirelessly and free as once we did, but nay, we must resort to such ignorable means of travel such as you. I was so unsure that was true. That was how to say it. I was going, there's no way. There's no way. Now, stay away from us. Let us, at least our vengeance should extend beyond your Commonwealth and become much more personal in nature. I give up with the voices. They landed. Okay. Yeah, I wasn't expecting them. I just ran into them. Oh, and they
That's
landed
that's manly.
there. Wait, can I run into you?
Yes, they're flying.
Haha.
So the Nightwings darken our skies once more. We suffered much from the defeat you handed us last time. Until our next encounter on a sacred site, I told you to stay out of our way. Get out of my sight!
Eh.
You can hear the angry hissing coming from Midmilda all the way from your position.
I'm not saying it. No, I will say it. Ye think mayhaps the skies belong to ye? Foolish. The skies and everything above them and below belong to the astral born. Ye shall be smitten from his skies on his awakening. Now be gone!
Would Milda stop talking about Islak for one conversation challenge? Impossible. What's that driving? What's that little imp doing?
I have no idea.
Dying, apparently. Oh, look, the dissidents.
Oh, is that who we're fighting?
Oh, that might have been. No.
I think that was the Humilda. That was somebody we already fought.
We got Protrude for vocations, Pamitha for vocations. Either way. I gotta use the washroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Go ahead. I mean, it's not like we can't use anybody.
Ow. Why?
You okay?
Back.
I'm gonna go play with this thing. Oh! Why? Stop going off screen. Do, 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 do. Look at everything that's in here. Like, what's this again? That's the Whis. You gather so many things in here. No, I went off screen again. Like, we got Pamitha's moonshine, Bertrude's decks. Those are the xylobones. Gilman's crust.
I love the xylobones.
The same. Sully's shell. What's this? Tiny Tempest. Singing Sands. Magma mug. Is that driving? Oh, that's another driving in. Hiding in the corner up here. I was like, is that a Tizo stuffy?
No, why would they? I don't even think they have the tech to make stuff.
We got that from Faye. This is another like keepsake.
Yeah, it's planned.
Oh, well, yeah, but it wasn't there originally.
No.
Like, these are all...
Tizo's nest.
Tizo's nest.
It's got a fish.
Also, like, I love how we're not underwater, but, like, all of these things
I'm
that...
fairly certain that's an aquarium we have, actually.
Yeah. Like, we just have an aquarium in 4 different freaking windows. Anyways, I waited for you.
You meet up with Bertrude, who suggests you go ranging with her through Hollow Root. Press the button.
Yes, we shall follow as the shadows in thy wake.
Together you set out to explore the windswept fields around the Black Wagon. You find little to speak of other than the desolation typical of the downside.
searching of these lands yields not, let us return.
You and Bertrude make your way back to the wagon.
That works so well.
Can't read.
Sorry.
Though uneventful, your search helped ease the burden weighing on you and leaves you with time to pursue your vocations. Oh, no.
Like, that helps so much just doing this.
Go talk to people first!
Yes. Oh, man.
You notice Bertrude studying the Beyond Crystal. She sets it down as you approach.
The mouthy writhe rebuketh our attempt to summon her. She insisteth that we are too young to understand.
She must be referring to Sandra. It seems that Bertrude may be able to invoke her.
Stubborn that one, possessing of an ancient understanding, olden ways and olden times. Many centuries of history, knowledge of the 8 scribes themselves, held captive there within that tiny green-tinged stone, within thy wrath's own memories. Wraiths.
Yes.
Would that we could extract them in some way. Perhaps thou couldst induce the wraith's obedience, reading one. For she heedeth not. She claimeth obligations only unto only thee. Although
It's just a... She stops and thinks very carefully. The Beyond Crystal is not to be tampered with. Your fellow exiles know that its use is at your sole discretion. She backs away from you, still thinking to herself.
ignorest thy own our inquiries about this reading one. Our reasoning has taken us elsewhere. Her refusal to cooperate is like to be an ancient warning of some sort.
Oh, she listens to the warnings. Good practitioner.
Tis possible that others of the southern bogs know something of her, but we shall not be tampering further with such sorceries ourselves. That the wraith refuseth to cooperate suggesteth her predicament is suitably deserved.
She heads out in a huff, but just as the air grows still and quiet, you sense something from the Beyond the Crystal.
Mouthy race, she says. Can you believe it, reader? Ah, to be young and foolish again.
Sandra the Unseeing laughs for herself. Your proximity to the Beyond the Crystal must have been sufficient to invoke her in this case.
That crone of yours is far too curious, I think. But it appears that even she has learned her lesson in this case. Thank the stars I'm beholden to no more than one among you night wings at a time. And thank the stars that happens to be you rather than her.
Oh, thank you for the follow, Sarah.
And if that crone attempts to lay her fingers on my Beyonder crystal again, I shall just have to torment her dreams till she's my age. Do feel free to mention that if it comes up.
How old are you?
Now, farewell. You know where to find me, lovely reader. We haven't seen you in so long.
Because we've done all the trials.
Yeah.
She vanishes. It seems that Sandra proved resistant to Bertrude's tampering. If so much history is trapped within the Beyond the Crystal, then it shall remain for the foreseeable future.
Book has nothing new.
I thought it was vibrating. I was like, whoa, what is happening? But it's only because you were over. And I was like, okay, buddy. So we can gather stuff, or you can do perma buffs on us.
Let's do permabuffs.
You find a quiet corner near the Black Wagon's grounds to delve into the secrets of the Book of the Rites, though through greater understanding comes the reader's influence. So do you want quickness or presence?
Let's go with presence.
The texture of the pages of the books, the foreign bindings, despite the volume's age, it shows so little sign of wear. At times, the power emanating from it almost overwhelms you. Inspiration comes to you in a flash, whether from the book or from within, you cannot tell. Tenacity. They're called drive-ins, but we don't see anyone pulling the wagon.
Ever. see what you have to say.
Hey guys, say, what are you guys doing all the way back here? You know, it's not so bad here. I was thinking, and I got some pretty good stuff. I think you ought to check it out.
Ooh, he bought more stuff. Just buy the Stardust, I guess. Take it off his hands. Make him happy. There, we're done. Get out of here, Ron. Leave.
Tell all your friends about us, because I already told mine.
Oh, cool.
Ooh, page!
We got a page for that. Oh. In the words of Joe Moore Many the Alpha Chief, there's a simple pleasure to be found in foraging about this place, easy for a cur to say, of course. Though barren looking to the naked eye, the downside is its share of semi-hidden treasures waiting to be found. It was a nose for treasure, after all, which drew us here. Certain types of artifacts found in this place would fetch a reasonable sum in soul, whether because they shine with inner light or due to other special properties. I have observed the stardust, freshly fallen from the heavens, sometimes glimmers in the afternoon. I have not found a use for it as yet, although because it brings me faith, perhaps I have indeed. Good talk.
Cool.
Goodbye.
At least once. I like playing.
After making all the necessary preparations amidst the lush overgrowth of the ridge of Goal, you and your companions await the commencement of the rites. It is quieter even than the usual at the onset of such events. The little minstrel appears, bearing some sort of news. I have checked, and it appears as though the Tempers have not yet arrived. Read 'em, madam. There is no sign of Ignarius or anyone. Their sigil is not set either. If what he says is true, and your adversary is not present, then you presume the rite cannot commence. However, the stars themselves soon indicate you are mistaken. Good job on your 3-stream streak.
Thanks.
Dun, 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 dun.
So that means that while it's not going to be, it's going to be Orlick.
That would make sense, though. I mean, I guess it would. Well, we'll see.
They haven't shown up.
Reader, the Commonwealth, your home. Today it is aflame. Much like a stack of books.
Rebellion.
The flame.
I would read a novel on this, to be honest.
Say.
Can you imagine?
Outlandish plan. Not that you care. Not that you shall live to
Supergiant,
see this
start writing novels about your book, your games. I will buy them all.
Please.
shan't succeed.
Like, I want to know what they, like, what caused everybody to end up, like,
As for
I
myself,
want to read about their times in the downside. Like, they can make the book from this game into an actual book, and I would still sit down and read
I
it.
would buy a copy of the Book of Rites, yeah.
Yeah.
The rites is set to commence, but your adversaries, they have failed to show. Unfortunate, but understandable. They knew that they would never make it to another liberation rite. I cannot blame them for not wanting to participate just for the sake of it. Indeed, as the rites are drawing to a close, some of the triumvirates whom you have met, perhaps they are beginning to decide the stars are not worth heeding any longer. Ignarius, you wonder whether he would give up on the rites like that. He did seem rather disaffected, having failed in the liberation rite before. Perhaps he did finally decide to quit for good. In any case, we have begun the ceremony here, and so I ask that we end it. Oh yeah, this one hits hard. I forgot about that.
We take no pleasure snuffing out a flame disowned.
Lo, even your adversaries have abandoned you.
So they just don't show and we just win.
And it is done.
Yep.
The Nightwings prevail by default. Not that their adversaries even care.
There are no adversaries.
So no matter who I picked, they weren't going to show up.
I don't think so, yeah.
That was easy. Don't see why the rest of you are so dull.
Boundless are the teachings of the scribes. Until the next one, if there even is to be another one.
No one speaks further the Tempers back at the Black Wagon. Everyone is instead preoccupied with the rite that is to come.
Last chance then, is it? If any of us are going to get out of here, still it's this time or never.
The stars always shine with truth. The ending of the cycle of the rites is now upon us. He looks over to you. Please look forth, Rita, madam, and see this for yourself. You may well surmise where we are going next. The others turn to you as well. You turn towards the wagon's door. You know that you shall see out there. Now, however, the time has come to face it. The dim and fading light of the final star still pierces through the darkness, demanding your attention, guiding you towards the end point of your path. Look upon it for the last. The constellations of the Titans are still very much alive, aren't they?
Yep. Wonder why. Is it because of the Discord?
Did you see who it was?
Wait, what?
Did you see who the challenger was?
No. Is it Orlac?
Yeah. You are summoned to the Fall of Solium for your seventh and final liberation rite. Thus shall the cycle of the rites be ended for an age. You sense that if the rites ever shall commence again, it shall not be during your lifetime, or that any of your companions, even the longest-lived ones. The stars reveal to you one thing more. The adversary whom you shall face shall be Orlac. Already has crossed Scribe's Gate and awaits your arrival. If the 8 scribes created the Nightwings in their own likeness, perhaps it is only fitting that the Nightwings should, in the end, be forced to face themselves. It is a shame that we should have to confront Orlac in the end. Our goals should never have been at cross purposes. I am surprised that this is what the scribes desire. For now, it may be best that you recover until dawn. Regain your strength as best you can for the coming trial. Rest well, Rita. The group disperses as exhaustion sets in. At dawn, you fly to Mount Elodial to make a final effort to achieve your plan. Check the plan's percentage. 91. And get somebody home, but who?
Pamatha.
Oh. The original Tempers. Haub. Myr, the Horned One, formed the Tempers upon his own ideals. Ingrained in this triumvirate are basic truths about the dual roles of strength and gentleness. The Horned One, he has had a dualistic nature for as long as he and I had considered each other friends. The stories I am told about Myr's youth describe no one I know. All of us are capable of more. I was once an imp that could not write. Myr was once a man that could not think. The Tempers once were ordinary folk. Now they rise to greatness, always striving, never overreaching. They are not like Myr himself. Rather, they are what Myr wished he could be. I think that the Tempers are the ones that followed the basic tenets of their triumvirate the most.
Yeah.
They're at the very least the least offensively different to them. Oh, look, it's the voice again.
Foolish reader, your so-called friends. You are accomplice.
Your forehead shines when you talk. Stop it. Don't come judging me. He's trying to toss it.
Never have your freedom.
He's trying to toss distrust in our squad. By dawn, you are already up and about after a troubled slumber. The black wagon is prepared for its final voyage to the Fall of Solium. No one speaks. As you lift into the skies, the lone minstrel raises his voice, cutting through the somber mood. Rita, a certain olden ballad comes to mind just now. I think it may befit the circumstance. Perhaps it may help to pass the time along our flight. Would you mind very much if I were to play this song for the Nightwings?
By all means.
You urge the lone minstrel to play his ballad so that all among you might hear it.
Yes.
It begins without another word. The stars align, the light shall come to bear, illuminate the signs, the exile shall be there. But we shall be as one. The end has just begun. Sterns may break alone, but twisted make a break. Together on their own, the end shall be made. Journey shall be made. It fast forwarded to the end because we got to the Fall of Solium, I think.
Oh. Boo!
That was pretty smooth though. Don't think it was. Maybe he just played a little blurb. You touch down amid the sheer cliffs of Mount Elodial to make pilgrimage to the summit for one last time. There, one last liberation rite shall soon commence.
I was trying to be slow too.
It might have just been a little blurb, like I said. There, one last exile shall regain his or her freedom. All others shall remain to carry out their sentences here in the downside for the remainder of their lives. And in the Commonwealth, the plan of which you are a part shall either come to fruition or shall be suppressed. Again, seek the curve scribe's favor.
Yeah, there's nothing.
After having landed, you join Pamath on an expedition to the monument of Jomur Menimane for what is likely to be the final time.
Well, Pamela here. Here you are. Again. Enjoy it while you can, I guess. Because it sounds like this is your last chance. And everyone's. What would you even do if Reader Darling there decided to pick you? Have you even decided yet? Or need more time there? You will always be an outcast, Panther. There's nothing waiting for you where you're from. And your sister hates you. Yet you want to go back anyway. Maybe because they thought they'd seen the last of you. Just imagine the looks on their faces.
Soon she is finished. You return to the wagon in silence, feeling as though Jomur Menimane has shown you favor. At dawn you shall begin your last ascent. For now, your vocations may occupy what little time you have to spare. Pamath gains 2 presents.
You know what?
Boy, Pamath is staring out the window as you approach.
I miss flying, Reader Darling. Take it from me. It feels good. It feels as good as you'd expect. I wouldn't mind cosplaying as her.
The wings would have to take the place of your arms, though.
It's easy enough. You
Well, it's just building a big,
Yeah.
It's actually less complicated to have the wings like that than it would be to have an extra set of wings on your back.
Yeah. It's not enough for those Commonwealth brutes to cast us down here. If they could get their fingers on us, they make sure we can never fly again as we once did. All while calling it an act of mercy. Let me ask you something, You've learned a thing or two. What have your studies taught you of my kind? You know the violence they have caused. You know the suffering they have. You know you share a common ancestor.
And she basically just told us that when the harps are sent down, they snip their wings or whatever to make it so they can't fly properly, which is awful considering that's basically their arms, right? You understand that long ago, there was only one tribe. They flew together and conquered the known world, but some of their descendants were born different. These wingless ones had little choice but tend the land with their hands of flesh. Over time, the wingless were disavowed. Abandoned, it was said that they were born under dark stars. In time, they formed the Empire, and they fought back. Not all the winged and wingless were at odds, and famous harps such as St. Triesta Tithus proved kinship could be possible. Nonetheless, all hatreds are not easily assuaged.
This is fairly accurate to our account of things. So in a manner, you yourself are a sister to me. My kind certainly aren't known for their good sense of humor, I can tell you that. My little tongue got me into no small amount of difficulty till I learned to keep it well under control.
She's a very sarcastic person, so yeah.
The mountains I come from, the views, there certainly are something, but there's a bleakness to it too. Being surrounded only by those consumed by the desire to avenge. We're very proud like that. Everybody vying to be the strongest, to kill the most of you. That way, we might just get a shot
Never
with
heard
the
the prince
prince.
before. Males the harp are all gone, though perhaps one remains. Oh, man.
Oh.
Wait, whoa, one more? They mate as poisoned spiders do and would slay each other. Yikes, that's the voice talking.
Yeah. Continue the line, even if he even exists. Imagine that being the best case scenario, darling.
She shakes her head.
Anyway, I was just thinking I'd rather enjoy the traveling we've done. The change of scenery does me some good. Perhaps I'll stick to wandering after all this. In fact, I fancy some wandering right now, if you'll excuse me.
She heads out of the wagon into the sheer cliffs of Mount Elodial. You ready?
Yeah. This just adds to the stuff that we have inside the wagon, right?
No, it adds, like, items we can use for our talismans, I think.
Oh, then we don't need that.
I never found a use for it, at least.
Well, we did it in the beginning.
This afternoon you feel especially drawn to the Book of Rites and find a place to look upon its words. Through greater understanding comes the reader's influence. Only got one left, and we maxed out all our passives. The 8 scribes who compose the book, their influence and their experience spreads throughout the pages into the willing reader's deepest consciousness. And inspiration comes to you in a flash, whether the book or from within, you cannot tell. Celerity.
No new page.
Nope. Just the path to Scribe's Gate. Messenger imp with news and rumors from the other side managed to track down your wagon in the splendors of Mount Elodial. The imp's latest information is about none other than Tiso, who you liberated at the fall of Solium. Everyone says he is the first creature of his kind to come to the Commonwealth. While this unique status brought Tiso no shortage of prestige, he nonetheless experienced difficulty acclimating to the new environment. It seems that he grew quite despondent. Then at last he managed to track down Volfred's agent, with whom he is working to find a means to bring more exiles home. Thus has the revolution grown stronger. He also left for you a special verbal message via his most trusted messenger, who rears up and intones, "Squeaky Hume!" He is doing well, but misses you and hopes to see you again. He made his way home.
Yay!
You thank the messenger imp for the report and ask that it relay you your kind regards. Your companions soon begin to talk in turn. You did it, little one. You'd scarce believe how long Nartizo toiled here in service of the Nightwings. He deserves his peace more than us all.
Very, very bright, that one. Would have served well as our familiar. Perhaps someday yet it shall be so. I guess this makes him an expatriate of sorts, ditching his downside home in favor of the Commonwealth. Who would have thought?
I shall look forward to our next reunion, Tizo. Perhaps when we are back among the stars. The news of Tizo's adventures in the Commonwealth fills you and your fellow exiles with newfound resolve. Plus, one hope for the next rite. Wish Tizo luck.
I know to hand it over to you.
You stand before the Scribe's Gate with your companions. The gate guardian is there as ever, but you sense something different in her.
The exiles of the Nightwings. We shall not meet again after this coming rite. Turk and I. It shall be time we take our rest, I think.
Greetings, Celeste. I will tell you that the Nightwings are prepared, though this time I am uncertain anyone amongst us feel thus.
You have a duty to uphold, Tarek.
And then what, Celeste?
And then nothing. Not for the rites or us. Not until the dawn of a new age. Now, Nightwings, step forward. Please state your names. And this is what you seek whilst crossing Scribe's Gate.
One by one, your fellow exiles approach her, now with sureness in their step.
I'll go, Pamitha Thyron. I came seeking my blood sister Tamitha's forgiveness, since she ended up in here because of me. Maybe something good can come of it as of yet.
I forgot she was called Big Bertrude.
I love how, we've already done this, and, the last time we went up to the rides, she's just like, go ahead in. You don't need to claim.
No, they have done this every time, but we're only seeing it the first and the last times, because the messages change.
We are called Big Bertrude. We seek to fulfill the plan of Sandalwood. For we are fond of him and his beliefs, and then to go about our business.
My name is Volfred Sandalwood. I long as yet to see an age where freedom is one's birthright, and no longer are good people such as these forced to contend for it. Finally, you step forth once more, you, a crippled scholar who vowed to help her friends be free again, and who managed to come this far with this group. The gate guardian observes you for a moment, then motions past the archway towards the summit.
The 8 scribes bid the Nightwings welcome. Go forth with glory. Except you, Tarek. You stay right there.
I thought you said.
The rites are not yet ended, Tarek.
He looks to her, then over to the rest of you. Pardon me, everyone. I shall be there when the stars align. The gate guardian and the lone minstrel remain together as the rest of you depart.
Yeah, because she's been letting him go in with them.
Well, the last couple times they stayed they said they had private matters to discuss.
Yeah.
I think that there's like an underlying thing that they used to be together, and then because he wanted to continue exploring or whatever the downside, separated, and she had a hard time forgiving him prior to the events of the game.
Makes sense.
You have gained the summit of Mount Elodiel for the 7th time, the final time in which any of you shall have a chance to leave the downside. Falcon, run!
Hey, guys. I guess you probably heard the big news, huh? Yeah, well, I'm going out of business here, I guess. This hasn't been the same, you know, with the stars fading, all fading out and stuff. Anyway, just wanted to say you guys are great, and I'm sure I'm going to miss having you guys as customers and all that. I got some good news, though, too. All my stuff, it's on sale now, and I'll throw a little extra there just for you, okay? So enjoy, and maybe I'll be seeing you guys around, okay?
5% off. Henceforth, like there's going to be another chance to shop. Great. Thanks, I'm buying the Stardust. Oh!
We can't afford
Fine,
it.
have Halb's wing. I like Jesus music. Get this. Oops.
See you guys again sometime soon, maybe, okay? Because I gotta say, you are my favorite customers I had all week.
The only customers. I'll let anyone else shops here.
Yeah.
You have gained the summit of Mount Elodiel for the 7th time. Very few stars remain above to light your way as you await the commencement of the final liberation rite. The lone minstrel finds you clutching the Book of Rites, seeking there perhaps some bit of wisdom that has eluded you thus far. Rita, we may not have a chance to speak again after this. I may have to go. I wish to say that I am grateful for having made your acquaintance, and I shall remember you with fondness. I wish you well this night and always. Go forth with glory. Then he looks up and extends his hand in friendship. You clasp it. You see Wolfred has joined you. All your companions are there with him, in fact. It is strange for me to say, given the circumstances of our meeting, Reader, but it has truly been a pleasure. Onward now. Let us achieve our plan.
What? I have to.
You could just not do the voice if you wanted. If it's hurting that much.
I just need to clear my voice and then like push a little bit, and it works. Reading one, thou art both wiser and less irritating than most others of thy kind. We have learned something from thee, and we are grateful. Well, reader darling, what do you say we give those old scribes a real show to remember? Then, how we?
You look upon your fellow exiles, your companions with whom you have withstood the downside, and with whom you shall now conduct the final rite. Begging your pardon, but my time has come. We shall see each other soon. He departs. After this night, the outcome of Wolfred's plan, the plan of which you have all been a part, shall be decided, one way or another. For now, all you can do is strive to prevail against your final adversary, so that one last companion may go free. You rise to join your fellow exiles as the last remaining stars ignite. The final liberation rites of this age shall now commence. The stars have joined us.
Amasa. Did you turn up the volume?
Yes.
Just that side eye.
For one last time. For soon, the few remaining stars shall fade away, leaving you stranded there for your remaining days in that forsaken land where you deserve to be. The rabble
See the stained glass on both sides.
Yeah.
down. The exiles whom you liberated all shall fall in line. But first, let us get on with this last liberation.
Pamatha, it's your turn.
You face none other than yourselves. Each so unlike the glorious night wings of yore. 'Tis a shame that one of you shall soon be free.
He doesn't like either one.
We deserve each other. The pyres burn, and each of the triumvirates is present and prepared.
But before the lone minstrel can concur as per the custom, not another word. The demon Orlac slowly raises his clawed fingers to his mask. The false Nightwings have arrived at last. Long have I awaited this. My freedom once was stolen from me. Then I was cheated of it, here upon this mountaintop. You may now attempt to take it from me once more. He stands there for a moment silent, then Orlek dons his mask and stands prepared. May these cursed rites cease forever for the misery which they have caused.
Nightwings, we shall not meet again after tonight, for the cycle of the rites is all but ended. Thus, I would have your decision on whose behalf shall you conduct this final liberation rite. The one whom you anoint, or else exile Orlak shall be returned.
Godspeed, Rita. You know what is at stake better than I. I have utmost faith in you to make the best decision and conduct this rite with glory.
Nightwings, the stars remain light. The remaining stars' light grow dim. Your decision, please.
You had it right first time. It is not time to choose who, if anyone amongst you, shall go free this one last time. The rest of you shall return to the downside for the end of their days. One by one you meet the gazes of each of your fellow exiles. Volfred, Pamitha, Bertrude. Your fellow exiles, your companions, your friends. Together you have come this far. But now, the downside and the rights conspire to tear your group apart and disrupt your plan. Hello?
I knew I was saying I was about to say one of the words wrong. That's why I corrected myself.
Are you prepared to choose this one last time?
Yes.
For there is no turning back.
Pamitha!
With but a glance, you reassure your fellow exiles that you know what to do.
One final opportunity for salvation. Too bad for the rest of you.
Pamitha. I tell you that you've made a terrible mistake there, reader darling, but I think you haven't made as many as I have. So, I'll try not to mess this up for either one of you, us.
Your choice is cast. As for your other companions, you sense a clarity of thought and purpose in each of them. They stand ready to support Pamitha as well as you. Who, I wonder? Who? Big choices. Volfrid. Assuredly, my girl. Besides, we stand against Orlik. It is fitting that I should have to confront him myself.
Thy will is ours, reading one. Let the remaining stars shed their last light upon our ceremony here.
Those are to be my adversaries, then. And who is it, I wonder, who asserts her will over that group? You sense Orlek searching for you, almost reaching out to you. You, the shadow of the false Nightwings. They are nothing to me, but you who would relinquish your own liberty for sake of them. Strange. It is fitting, then, that I should have to face one such as you. Then Orlek stands at the ready, signaling for his two allies to do the same. By light of dawn, the cycle of the right shall cease. Let us see if we can finish this ordeal before that time. The sky above begins to shudder. The final liberation rite is about to commence.
Turk,
Aye, I am prepared, Celeste.
then let our song this evening shake the stars themselves.
Aye, Celeste, let us make sure of it.
The final chance at liberation.
Oh, they got so much HP, though. You wear the raiments once again. I could not simply stand by and do nothing, Orlek. Yet that is what you did. When last we stood together on this blasted mountain, I fell. You simply stood. Orlek, what shall it take for you to be convinced I took no part in your betrayal? Orlek seems to consider the question, but only for a moment. Give me my freedom. Let me prevail, here and now. Would you promise to uphold our plan, which is now, we have no percentage.
It was 91% last time we looked at it.
Yep, to bring about a better commonwealth. No, I make no promises. I owe you nothing. Then I am sorry, Orlek. My love of country comes before all else. More than your freedom and our friendship is at stake. Your love be... Volfrid, let us stand as adversaries then.
Did you really just beep yourself?
Yes. Woo! You tried. Oh, no.
Oh, they have an imp.
They do. A couple of them have had imps. Udmilda has imps.
Okay.
The sky rains ash. Soon shall your pyre's own mingle with them. Just then the skies above begin to rain down fire. The final throes of the cycle of the rites and the ending of the age. I love the implication that he's the one triggering it. Hey! What the hell? Alright, Pamela, cool. Oh no. Excuse me? Oh, I missed. Yeah? Okay. Oh no, you are not a demon. That don't work. Uh-oh. Oh boy, no. Come on. Woo!
Thank you, Sproutling.
Oh, wow, they sniped me out of that one. That's cool. Yeah, okay. I should have dashed into him, actually. I think we're now pretty equal. Oh! Okay. Eventually, little imp, you will not be able to keep flying. Oh yeah, you got that power I gave Joe the first time I played. Don't you dare! Okay, we still have the advantage.
So we represent the scribes, he represents the titans.
No, nothing like that. Hey now! No, stop! Oh, that's gonna suck! Oh, he only... Okay.
He only does 20.
I thought he was gonna do like 30. Most demons do. Which ones?
Us. We're at 60, they're at 70.
That should prevent Tamitha from being banished as well. So the false Nightwings bear their fangs at last. But that cannot be your finest effort. You think you deserve your freedom more than I? Then fight for it, curse you.
I thought you said that was supposed to stop her banishment.
I thought too. I don't know if it's a percentage chance or not.
Yeah!
I just like... All of you, you shall rot here. You shall rot as I have all these many years, you false Nightwings, who would deny me once again my rightful liberty. You who deny that liberty to all the triumvirates you face and vanquish under the guise of the traditions of those blasted scribes. Come, let us continue with this glorious affair. He's like pissed off, I guess, more so because of the fact that like he had his freedom and it's getting denied, but also like a second time denied because of the fact that like...
This is technically the third time.
No, he didn't do a liberation right against us before.
Yeah, he did.
Did he? No.
Yeah, when we released Jafar.
Jody?
Yeah, when we released Jody.
I thought we... No, that was against Igni... Okay.
Oh, that was against the other demon.
Yeah, I thought so too. Here, have that. Oops. No! Ah! Well, he threw it. Orlek stands, breathing heavily. He looks back at the thin lick of flame that is his smoldering pyre, before turning his attention back to your triumvirate. Yeah, he's losing, and he knows it. Sorry, Buckle. I'm shielded when I do that, baby. That's it.
Yep.
Fast viewers! So cool!
Thus ends the liberation. And thus the scribes have chosen.
Not bad there, reader darling. Just another night in the downside, no?
You look upon Pamitha for what you expect shall be the last time you see each other. Any moment now the Shimmer Pool shall engulf her. Any moment now she shall return to glory and join with Wolfred's agents in the Commonwealth to help achieve the plan. Any moment now the cycle of the right shall end until at least the dawn of a new age. Any moment now.
And thus the scribes have chosen. And thus the scribes have chosen. And thus the scribes have chosen.
Oh, it all...
No. Nightwings. Frida. What have you done?
She's not going? Damn, did we already miss our chance?
Each prior time upon the fall of Solium, the Shimmer Pool has opened, following the liberation rite and taken in whichever exile prevailed. But now all is still, and the light of the stars above all has all but died. You sense a growing fear that it is already too late, that the shimmer pool shall not reveal itself again. Oralek approaches, his head bowed. The 8 scribes saved their greatest treachery for last. Then something else catches his notice. Wait. A sudden rush of starlight cascades through the stillness of the summit. The shimmer pool has appeared again, different somehow, but open. Pamitha looks upon it, but it does not engulf her, at least not yet. Seems I was mistaken then. The 8 scribes, this is not their greatest treachery, it is their greatest jest. The shimmer pool is flung wide open. It seems that all are worthy now of freedom. Oralek strides toward the shimmer pool, but halt. Oralek glances over at the lone minstrel, almost in surprise. The shimmer pool has lost most of its strength. You step inside and you shall surely drown, of that I can assure you. He laughs to himself at this. Then we have all been cheated. No, the shimmer pool is revealed and one of you may still return as planned. But as for who returns, someone shall have to choose. Ere the last light of the stars is extinguished and the rites cease to be, this is the final trial of the scribes. Final trial of the scribes. Then our confrontation, the liberation rite, it was all meaningless? No, the victor of the confrontation is to be the one who makes the choice among those closest to the scribes, either the anointed or she who anointed them.
Then it sounds rather like I can get out of here. Though maybe you can, reader darling.
Aye, it shall be either you, the reader, or it shall be either or. Pamitha, please make your decision quickly, lest it shall be forfeit. I do not know for how much longer the light of the stars shall offer you this gift.
Quite the dilemma, but I think I know which way I'm leaning here. Reader darling, do me a favor now, and go get out there before I go start having second thoughts.
Pamitha wishes to give up her freedom so that you may regain yours. Very well. Read, madam, the choice which Pamitha made, or rather the choice which she gave, it is now yours to make instead. This choice, it may keep bouncing back and forth like this. Absurd. It may until such time as one of you is willing to accept the burden and the outcome of the choice. That is the trial, and I fear that there is little time remaining now. Reader, if you and your companion are too cordial with each other to accept that freedom, either one of you, then I shall gladly take it. Freedom ought to be more than some flirtatious trifle to exchange. Reader, what is your will? You are decided. You have chosen Pamitha. Trigger warning, suicide. She looks at you with some astonishment. Pamitha, madam, do you accept the reader's choice, or shall you make another?
Sure, why not? Thank you, darling. I guess I owe you one. When next we meet in this life or the next.
Then it is done. You see a look of genuine surprise flash across Pamitha's face, and then she is gone. You give a chance at freedom so that Pamitha may yet have hers. May she return in glory.
By the scribes, no stars remain aloft. The cycle of the rites. It is finished. The Commonwealth. What shall become of it? What shall become of us?
You're gonna be okay in the Commonwealth, buddy.
The opportunity to gain your
Trust me.
freedom from the downside. Was it not enough?
No. We want everybody to be free.
That's the point of this. That night, the exiled Pamitha returned to the Commonwealth. She was to be the last. The stars had faded, and the cycle of the rites had run its course. She found the Commonwealth in great upheaval. Spurred by the efforts of 6 liberated exiles, Wolfred Sandalwood's revolutionary plan had incited the masses. These exiles in the starless sky portended the return of the scribes. The people surged into the streets, shoulder to shoulder. Led by the 6 exiles, their voices shook the heavens. The leadership of the Commonwealth panicked. No blood was shed that night, and by dawn it was over. The leaders of the Commonwealth had cast themselves back into exile or joined in this new cause. Thus, in its 838th year, the Commonwealth had fallen. The new Saurian Union declared its sovereignty in the next year. Among the changes its elected leader ushered in, they vowed never to cast their people into exile, and they abolished the old Commonwealth decree forbidding literacy. Today, we still remember all of this, because it was written!
Yeah.
And we remember the exiles of the downside, whose deeds led to the dawning of our age, whether they returned or not.
So,
You can see everyone's epilogue by rolling over them. After his liberation, Hedwyn was instrumental in the events leading to the fall of the Commonwealth and was vital to the outcome of the plan. The peaceful outcome of the scribe's return was attributed to several key factors. One of them was the underlying ambition of the plan itself. Another was Hedwyn's visibility among the people in the streets. Identified to be a liberated exile, he was believed to be Gaul Galathanian reborn. More importantly, however, was that one of the winged harps of the Highwind remnants accompanied him. She was later identified as Fikani Shang. Their bond was symbolic of what was at stake that night, and proved vital to the peace that followed. In all his days as leader in the Saurian Union, Hedwyn often confided in his friend Jodariel. Our nation, formed in 839 after Solium. One day we all may stand shoulder to shoulder with a common cause. Despite her intense manner, there was no one whom he trusted more in times when circumspection was required. Hedwyn would often think back about the vow he made at the beginning of his quest for freedom. Although he cherished all the friendships he made, he had pledged to Jodariel, Rookie Greentail, and the Reader that of the Nightwings that they may all be free again together. He had broken that vow, for in the end, not all of them were able to return. A terrible guilt often over this darkened his mood for a time. However, the others whom he still knew lifted his spirits, much like he had often lifted theirs. All of the Nightwings knew the stakes. While the others who stood with the Nightwings were not all able to remain in contact thus, Hedwyn thought of each of them often, and so in turn did they often think of him. I think we're going to have to go through every character, by the way.
no problem.
The imp called Tizo was the first of his kind to achieve liberty through the rites. While he was not the only imp trained in the way of the scribes, imps are native to the downside, and thus are not care not for traveling abroad. This made them useful to triumvirates. Yet Tizo had a different calling, and the Nightwings believed that he too could play a key part in Volfred Sandalwood's plan. During the night of Scribe's return, he stood out to the what's Scribe's return? Inspired by the liberated exiles, people of the Commonwealth. Oh, okay, it's their revolution day. He stood out to the populace as something of a miracle. They had only heard of downside imps before, from legends of Haub the Swallow. Oh yeah, I guess they never would have seen some except for like messenger imps, right?
Yeah.
Afterwards, he became something of an icon, representing both the fall of the Commonwealth and the beginning of a new era. He would visit his friend Faye at every opportunity. She was among the few who could consistently interpret what he meant, and they were always close since first they met. Volfred Sandalwood would sometimes send him little gifts all the way from the downside. Despite the insurmountable distance between them, their friendship proved more than resilient. Tizo often missed his interactions with the Reader and the Nightwings. They had quickly built quite a rapport back in the downside. What's the Reader going to tell us?
Oh, sorry.
Well, we'll see it again, probably. And Tizo would often express wistful gratitude for all his time conducting the rites alongside the Nightwings, who made such sacrifices for him. Other than that, Tizo was diligent about his role as something of a living artifact, and helped interpret for the messenger imps that relayed news to and from the downside. Despite having gained significant celebrity, he never let it go to his head. Although he did take full advantage of his access to the Saurian Union's fishing industry. Naturally. As the cycle of the rites drew to a close, it grew evident that a chance at freedom from the downside had forever slipped from Dalbert and Elmer Oldheart's grasp. Thus, they and the exiles of the Fate returned to Jomor Valley. There, they struggled to get by, as exiles of the downside often tend to do. Sometimes after the rites had ended, the Old Hearts at last heard the news that the Commonwealth had fallen. This was well after the fact, of course, but it brought old Dalbert great joy. Despite his forthright manner, he had no love for the nation that cast him down, along with his son. Dalbert Oldheart passed peacefully in his sleep before the next new moon. It took less than a month. In his final days, he implored his son to undertake a pilgrimage to the scribes. Almer never shared his father's view of the scribes, but respected Dalbert's wishes, and so, after a period of mourning, Almer began a new journey. Not a day went by that Almer Oldheart did not think about his father, and give thanks to him, and speak to him at morning and at night. Would that the stars yet shone, for surely Dalbert would be there among them, smiling down at his son, and watching over him and his kin.
I'm just going row by
Yeah.
row.
After the final liberation rite, Lendl refused to believe that the rites had truly ended. He would sit through night after consecutive night, staring into the blackness of the sky, awaiting any kind of sign that he might gain another chance at freedom. No such sign ever came. His fellow accusers started to express concern for him. Survival had become their top priority once liberty had slipped from their grasp. But Lendl dismissed them as weak fools. He insisted rather forcefully that any evening now the stars would shine for him again and mark the way towards his inevitable freedom. He was, of course, mistaken. The others in his triumvirate were left with little choice but to abandon him. After that, the exile known as Lendl the Liar was never seen again. However, there have since been sightings of a draggled demon who wanders the downside and bears Lendl's cruel countenance, suggesting he yet lives.
Ugh.
Gilman! When the worm Gilman returned... Sorry, I heard his voice. Returned to the Commonwealth, he believed that he had regained something even more important than his freedom, his honor. Gilman relinquished his knighthood and declined an opportunity to serve as captain on the Blood Border. He was not interested in fighting any longer. Yet, as is sometimes the case with those such as he, a circumstance soon came about in which there came a need for him to once again make use of his military training. Thankfully, however, the scribe's return ended peacefully. Gilman... Oh, so he was on the front lines during that, technically speaking.
Yeah.
Gilman was on edge throughout that night, expecting violence to erupt at any moment, but the moment never came. When the matter was at last put to rest, then Gilman truly knew his time as a knight had ended. He declared to all those in earshot that he would never fight again. Unless, of course, those... Oh, no. Teaser, come on. It's empty, it's fine. What?
Doesn't stop the panic from rising.
Unless, of course, there was some other extraordinary set of circumstance again requiring him to fight, but he certainly hoped not. He still trained regularly, just in case, especially with his fleet-footed friend, Rookie Greentail. He was also always grateful for having studied under the Reader of the Nightwings, without whom he would never have completed his penance. You are an exile of the Commonwealth, sentenced to life in the downside. There you go. Because of this, and perhaps because they were on opposite sides of the world now, Gilman dedicated his life to her. By that point, he had long forgotten about his days under the leadership of Sir Deluge, his former commander. Breaking free of his abusive leadership was his first step towards gaining a bit of self-respect. Sorry. Gilman never did return to his homeland, or of the Sea Dominion, and was content to lead a monastic life on a small residence in the hills. Became a monk. It was just high up enough to make him keep striving to conquer his fear of heights. Good job, Gilman. Other than that, an intense daily training regimen and the occasional visit from an old companion was more than enough to keep him optimistic and engaged. He knew by then that honor was not something to be won, but a contract with oneself to be renewed each day. That's also a pretty powerful quote, actually.
Mm-hmm.
After the cycle of the rites ceased turning, records of what happened to the Black Wagon of the Nightwings became inconclusive and contradictory. Some accounts suggest that the exile of the Nightwings, who remained on the downside, continued to make use of the Black Wagon as their place of shelter and their means of travel. However, there is no record of what happened to the wagon's contents, such as the Book of Rites or the Beyonder Crystal, said to be haunted by the apparition of Sandra the Unseeing. One possibility is that, when the lone minstrel took his leave, he took the Beyonder Crystal with him, for he was thus obliged. By this line of reasoning, however, the Black Wagon itself should have been taken also. Others remain skeptical that the Beyonder Crystal ever existed, or rather, that the visions that it granted were anything other than the result of an active imagination or a fever dream. The bog dwellers of the southern bogs offer still yet another explanation, for they are familiar with binding enchantments. If there existed such an object in which the Sisters of the Arch is an ancient band of killers, trained almost from birth to carry out, so she was an assassin before,
Cool.
had been expelled for more than 800 years, then the enchantment could have expired along with the light of the stars. What this would have meant for Sandra and the Beyonders is difficult to say for certain, other than if it may have meant they were finally released. Nevertheless, the fates of Sandra and the Beyonder Crystal remain unknown. Yet those exiles of the Nightwings who claimed to have seen this apparition all spoke of her with degrees of reverence, or perhaps a little fear. Deluge! All his life, Sir Deluge had fled from one danger, only to find himself facing another. He had escaped the war-torn waters of the Sea Dominion, he had escaped the blood border of the Commonwealth, and now he had escaped the rites. After the rites had ended, many exiles wrapped up in the ancient test were crestfallen as their last chances to return to their homes vanished, along with the stars above. But Deluge did not mind, for this outcome meant that, at last, there was no burden of responsibility weighing down on him. While most of his fellow exiles of the Pyre hearts yet longed for the waters of the Sea Dominion, driven as ever by their impulse towards conflict, Deluge settled down. With him remained one of his companions, one Lady Seagrass, who had taken a liking to him for some reason. Reportedly, they disappeared into the waters of Worm Gulf, which may begin to explain the significant increase in worm population observed in the vicinity. They've been boning like bunnies. After the cycle of the rites had ceased, Witch Udmilde returned to the Flagging Hands region, where she sealed herself within the Pit of Millith. There, even her fellow exiles of the Withdrawn allegedly grew unnerved after a time and left her to her vile work. Some time later, the Pit of Millith erupted into flame. So intense was the conflagration that it could be seen all the way from Jonor Valley. Arson was suspected, though the cause was never verified, and many bog dwellers in the region were forced to flee. A tempest blowing from the north finally quenched the flames. When at last the ashes settled and the ground had cooled, the site of the fire was scarred beyond recognition. No trace of Witch Udmilde could be found. As for the contents of the Pit of Millith, which notably included a profane object thought to be the remains of Islak, all of it was gone as well. Back in the Saurian Union, Udmilde's repeated threats of the return of Islak were thoroughly investigated, and no credence was found to any of her claims. The Commonwealth had never provided a sense of home for the one they had called Faye the Fair, so she was surprised on her return that she was so well treated. Oh, sorry. She felt uneasy about it, and besides, she knew that she would do her best to fulfill the pledge she had made to her friends. Even she could not have what?
Nothing. Just keep reading.
I don't understand why you randomly stared at me. I am now self-conscious.
You put your foot up. It caused me to shift my focus to you. I'm looking at you, the most beautiful man to me. Okay. Of course I'm going to stare. You are my husband.
Faye, even she could not have expected the impact she would have on the events that followed, which gave rise to the Sarian Union. Despite not fitting the image of any of the 8 scribes, Faye nonetheless stood out amongst the others and the teeming masses on the night of Scribe's return. She spoke of the scribes with such conviction and sincerity that the crowd was very moved. After the fall of the Commonwealth, there was a renewed interest in the legend of the 8 scribes and many new interpretations of their histories and teachings. Faye found herself at the center of all this. Her way of speaking continued to compel a growing audience. She swayed many people from their astralist beliefs. Soon, the 8th word, which is a word we can have a definition for, theocratic sect believing that the 8 scribes were more than mortal and their words divine, which had lost favor with the people during the reign of the Commonwealth, sought her out and asked her formally to join, and she did, right away. Amongst her friends, she always remained close with Tizo, who, more so than anyone, could always make her laugh. She cited a relationship with Jodariel as the single most important in her life. Jodariel would always provide for her a circumspect perspective and the wisdom of experience. Faye always was devoted to her faith, but more so to her friends. Many people in the Sarian Union cited that her gentle manner and unwavering conviction helped them brave the changing times with courage and grace. Rookie! After Rookie Greentail earned back his freedom, he returned to a lavish welcome ceremony in the Commonwealth, as was the tendency for liberated exiles. It was everything he could have hoped for, and soon he was well off, surrounded by luxury and choosing between various exciting opportunities. However, he must have given in to his better judgment, as he is a sentence. As he did end up siding with Wolfred Sandalwood's revolutionary forces, as he promised. On the night of the scribe's return, Greentail was there with the others, inspiring the masses. He never looked prouder, the very image of Jomer Many-Mane himself. When dawn finally came and it became clear that the Commonwealth that everybody knew would be no more, he realized many new opportunities awaited. He began quite a lucrative career for himself, manufacturing and selling replica merchandise inspired by the downside. His main struggle was to meet demand. An aspect of his conscience cautioned him against making light of such a thing, but the money was too good, and soon his family was as well off as he always said. One of his orders of business was to seek out one of his old companions, Pamela Thane, now with definition, which is just that she got freedom, to whom he took a liking during their quest for freedom. They bonded further over love of drink and supported one another through uncertain times that lay in store. He also kept in close touch with Gilman, ever the perfect practice partner. They would train together often, taking care to stay in tip-top shape as much as possible throughout the years. Greentail always did his best to keep in touch with all his many friends, and knew that he owed his fortunes to them.
Oh, his tail's green!
That is why his name is Greentail, yes.
I never once noticed that his tail was green.
He made a special point of staying close with the group of friends he came to know so well during his time with the Nightwings, whoever they were. Who's bonking at the gate?
No one. That's your brother starting the dishwasher.
Sounds very similar. They shared a special understanding that put even Greentail at a loss for words sometimes. Barker? Ding, 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 ding. Barker Ashpaws never had much interest in returning to the Commonwealth, for he always found its bylaws to be stifling, so when the rites ended, he did not care at first. He soon grew very bored. The rites had given his life a certain sense of structure he always had needed. He missed the raw anticipation of it all. He decided to continue conducting the rites for the thrill of it. He bent some of the rules and replaced some of the objects, but it was close enough. His packmates, the dissidents, proved more than happy to participate, and thus they ran against each other back in Jomer Valley. Gradually, other exiles familiar with the rites, as well as those who had not heard of it at all, started to take an interest. They ended up giving Barker Ashpaws some healthy competition. His old feud with Rookie Greentail ceased meaning anything to him, and he forgot all about it amidst his new pursuits.
So basically, he created his own version of the rites.
He created a sports league by accident, yeah.
Yeah.
Ultimately, even Barker Ashpaws, who had led such a directionless existence to that point, found something of a calling through the rites. Whether he took the rites less seriously than any other exile of his time or more was oft debated by those who watched him work. Jodariel. After her liberation, Jodariel soon became an icon of the movement that led to the collapse of the Commonwealth and the rise of the Sarian Union.
Her face looks so much cuter now.
Now, she's not frowning all the time, yeah?
Yeah.
Her horns and stern countenance inspired the people to believe that she was solely a Myr, reborn. She became a great, if reluctant, leader. In the uncertain times that followed, Jodariel's seasoned expertise often came into play both in matters of security and of state. For instance, she conscripted and trained a team of volunteers in public safety. The community did not know what to make of such a cordial bunch at first, but soon came to value their service. They have stood for people ever since, and we celebrate their founding day each year. She remained close with Hedwyn all throughout this experience, and they supported each other through their struggles many, many times. She kept an eye on Faye, who nonetheless demonstrated a surprising knack to get by on her own, though Jodariel was always willing to provide assistance, just in case. She continued training on her own, a regimen that grew stricter with each passing year. There were those who sought to train with her, and she sometimes obliged. They remained one other constant in her life. She would always remember her days among the Nightwings, and with fondness for the most part. Tamitha Thane. Throughout her exile, Tamitha Thane was motivated by a single goal, to return to the Commonwealth and exact vengeance on her ancient enemies. When she realized the rites had ended and that she would never see her mountain home again, she nonetheless remained determined to aid her people however possible. She had gathered certain information pertaining to the intentions of the Nightwings, who had formed a pact to regroup on the other side after their liberation. Other such reports exposed certain weaknesses in the Commonwealth defenses and revealed to the High Wing remnants the opportunity for a risky but potential impact strike.
Impactful.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. As Tamitha could not participate in the assault, she learned what happened well after the outcome. On that night, no of the scribes returned. The Commonwealth had fallen. The High Wing remnants thus prevailed at last, without even having to fight. Soon after the fall of the Commonwealth, Tamitha learned her blood sister, Pamitha, was an accessory to the successful outcome. Tamitha was very skeptical of this, but as similar reports kept mounting, she soon accepted the prevailing opinion, however, grudgingly. Once a messenger, it arrived bearing some sort of message, seemingly from Pamitha. However, Tamitha turned it away. She would not give in to an impulse to forgive. Oof, Tamitha. Knowing that the conflict on the other side had ended, Tamitha retreated to the crags of Black Basin and grew ever more distant. Those closest to her surmised that her inability to reconcile with her blood sister was at the heart of this, though for her part, Tamitha never once admitted to any such weakness.
Yes, I ignored him on purpose.
Several exiles of the Nightwings cared more. I was going to say, he's on his own line, isn't he? Cared more for the planet of Sandalwood than her return home from the downside. The crone called Big Gertrude was a prime example. She had found a suitable environment to live within the dismal region known as Flagging Hands. There she had built up a thriving place of business known to many exiles in the land. With the rites having ended, she returned to her preoccupations, working away almost as though nothing had happened. When one gets to be more than 400 years of age, perhaps then even monumental events such as the culmination of the rites or the collapse of the Commonwealth are seen as trifling matters. Much of her effort was doubtless due to the influence of Sandalwood, someone whom she had now admired for decades. He had made clear that he could not requite her feelings for him, but what could have been a hurtful dismissal led only to a deeper understanding between them. But
Requite. No,
requite, yes.
requite.
Yeah. By and large, Gertrude kept focused on her work. Whether casting small enchantments or imbuing talismans, the work brought her a sense of purpose, she would say. In the Commonwealth, such services were strictly forbidden, but in the downside, there was a real need for simple luxuries, which the competing slug market could not always provide. Didn't he say he was shutting down?
Yeah.
Thus did Big Gertrude continue to live up to her name, and the tales of her days with the Nightwings made her that much more the living legend. No hat. She's not wearing a helmet.
Yep.
After regaining her freedom, Pamitha Thane found herself in a difficult position. Having once betrayed her people of the High Wing remnants, she knew that she would not be welcome in her native home. She did not trust the Commonwealth either. Instead, she found her place among Volford Sandalwood's agents, who were busy doing their part to fulfill the plan. As it turned out, the plan was a success. Pamitha Thane stood shoulder to shoulder with her other fellow former exiles, and truly they were a sight to behold. A disturbing rumor later spread that night the High Wing remnants were slated to mount an assault, which for some reason never came to pass. Pamitha denied any knowledge or involvement.
Yeah. She denies it, but her sister knows she was involved.
Her sister knows she was involved in the night of the...
Oh, of the fall of the... Yeah.
Afterward, Pamitha played an active part in negotiating terms between the High Wind remnants and the new nation that would become Arsarian Union. Her previous attempt at something of the sort led to her exile. She must have felt some satisfaction to succeed this time around. Sometime later, she has helmet hair, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
And Pamitha had an unexpected run-in with Rookie Greentail, with whom she had spent a fair amount of time while traveling with the Nightwings. Under these new sets of circumstances, it turned out the two had more to talk about, and rather more in common. They would often put to test which one was able to outdrink the other. It is unclear as to which one of them prevailed in that contest in the end. One day, Pamitha received an invitation to return to the High Wind Remnants, where she was to be fully pardoned. She held out a hope that she might see her blood sister Tamitha there, knowing full well that Tamitha did not regain her freedom. Oof. Tamitha did later learn that Pamitha was welcomed back by her people. However, she never responded to her blood sister's attempts to contact her. Mammoth, in turn, did not expect forgiveness from her at any point. Nonetheless, she kept on trying to reach out, and she said, to ruffle up her feathers just a bit. Later, when asked, Mammoth admitted she felt as though she had no home to call her own. This was during an interview conducted in an extensive trip abroad, for she had traveled thousands of leagues beyond the bounds of the Sarian Union. Mammoth continued to journey thus, citing that it reminded her when she was younger and could fly unfettered. Manly.
Get you over with.
When manly Tinderstalf realized the rites had ended and that he no longer could return to the Commonwealth through his ancient means, he was outraged. He cursed the scribes, spewing forth such a slew of blasphemy as to be very unbecoming of one of his high status and bearing. When at last he calmed himself, he focused all his energies on attempting to find another means of homecoming. He maintained regular contact with his wealthy family on the other side via messenger to him. And, hey,
Oh, sorry.
he tried using an elaborate police system. He attempted to retrofit a flying black wagon with superior propulsion, tried an imp raft, a hot air balloon, even prayer. Nothing worked. Well, I mean, after blaspheming, you'd think, okay, there was only one way to escape the downside, and now it was gone. Tinderstalf bankrupted his family in these vain attempts. At last, such was the shame that he retreated to the teeming woods of Black Basin to Cinderroot. Good! His family's no longer rich!
Yup.
There he yet wallows, complaining to his comrades of the chastity who still put up with him, either about his own misfortune or the latest news from the other side. Once it became clear to Ignarius that the rites were drawing to a close, he knew that it was time for him and the Tempers to call it quits. But first, he and the Tempers decided to celebrate, and that they did. For many, many nights, the revelry did eventually subside. The exiles parted amicably and went their separate ways. He roamed the downside then, searching for some meaning in his life, sometimes taking odd jobs requiring his brute strength.
So that night that we were supposed to compete with them, they were busy
They were
celebrating.
drinking. Yeah, they were. He never remained alone for very long and took on many lovers in his time. However, he sometimes thought about the one he had called Curly Horns and what became of Jadariel.
Yeah.
Though his glory days as the most powerful conductor of the rites had long since passed, he always enjoyed the fearsome reputation he had cultivated at that time. When the cycle of rites ceased turning, Volfred Sandalwood turned towards the starless sky and closed his eyes and prayed. It was all that he could do at this stage of his plan. He aspired to assemble with liberated exiles representing each of the 8 largest ethnic groups composing the population of the Commonwealth. They would stand together as the vision of the 8 scribes returned, inspiring the masses to embrace an older set of values from before the Commonwealth had tightened its grip. With the rites ending sooner than expected, the ideal scenario became impossible. Sandalwood's own freedom, for instance, was now forfeit, yet the plan did have contingencies. Fortunately, most of the contingencies did not prove necessary. Word reached him that, on the night of the scribe's return, his fellow liberated Nightwings stood together and their voices echoed through the streets. These former exiles, who ought to have disappeared into the ranks of the Commonwealth's own leadership, now stood united with his people, who poured from their homes in solidarity. It was imperative to Sandalwood that this stand against the Commonwealth be peaceful in nature. An overwhelming show of popular support would be more than enough. Ensuring this was his priority, and in the end, the result was self-evident. The plan's goal had been achieved. Sandalwood kept busy after that, as much as possible, providing counsel from afar to those who would be at the forefront of the birth of the Sarian Union. Of course, being stranded in the downside meant that there was only so much he could do. Resting assured that the future of the nation was in his capable hands, he turned his attention to the remaining exiles of the downside. They might never return to that new nation, but at least they could experience his triumphs and struggles in some vicarious way. So he took to his old work, writing and printing. As literacy began to spread again throughout the Sarian Union, so too did exiles of the downside take to it. For his part, Sandalwood helped to teach as many as he could. More than that, he provided the material to read, a semi-annual report about the latest events both in the Sarian Union and the downside. This periodical gave many exiles something to look forward to. He welcomed the company of the reader of the Nightwings at every opportunity, and counted her a trusted friend and a keen editor. As Volfred Sandalwood gained more fame throughout this land for all his sacrifices and his contributions, it is said that he remained steadfast about 2 things. The first was that the cause itself ought to remain in focus. The freedom that the people had achieved, it was a gift to be cherished, a set of values that needed to be nurtured. The second point he made was that he himself had little to do with the outcome. He would often praise the exiles and Nightwings who had stood with him, each in turn, by name. He never forgot any of them. How do you forget those people, eh? How do you forget their names? That one don't make... You can't.
Nope.
One day, to commemorate his birthday, the people of the Sarian Union unveiled a monument depicting him and the Nightwings as imagined in their prime. While Sandalwood did not learn of it until much later, it is said that he was moved to tears then by the gesture. It has since, living by the word sap, it has since ensured that those of us with memories more fallible than that of Sandalwood likewise remember the achievements of his fellow former exiles and our cause. Again, with the suicide warning. After the shimmer pool closed for what would be the last time, Oralek looked around him in the flickering light of the Nightwing's still burning pyre. He then turned to the fall of Solium, looked up towards the black starless sky. He cursed the 8 scribes then, one after the other. After that he strode forward towards the water coursing from the side of Mount Elodial, and, without hesitating, cast himself down.
So he chose to die the same way that everybody thought he died.
Yep, he went back down. Oralek's body was never... Well, he might have survived. The drop from Mount Elodian does not appear survivable, though Oralek did survive it once. That time, however, he was filled with fury. Such was the betrayal he had suffered when his fellow exile claimed his rightful freedom. This time, Oralek was filled with nothingness, and chose to leave the downside in the one way he knew he still could. The other Nightwings who were witness to this never forgot what they saw. With the rights drawn to a close, the slug market's revenues fell precipitously, and Falcon Ron, who was forced to liquidate his assets and close up shop. Yet, as is sometimes the case with those of an entrepreneurial leaning, the time of hardship led to an epiphany, or at least a sudden change of fortune. One day, Falcon Ron had a run-in with a messenger imp bearing news from the other side. Ron gave to it one of his remaining trinkets, which could not be sold. The following week, the messenger imp returned to him bearing a tidy sum of wealth in newly minted coinage from the Sarian Union. Falcon Ron cut a long-term deal with the messenger imp then and there. Though his trade remained a grey area from a legal standpoint in the Sarian Union, the newfound fame of the downside caused Falcon Ron's goods to explode in popularity. He later signed an elaborate agreement with Big Bertrudes and founded a distribution partner on the other side through Rookie Greentail, whose own business had expanded. Especially in the Sarian Union, Falcon Ron's goods are still known for their superior quality, though he assumes no liability for any side effects. After the cycle of the rites ceased turning, the lone minstrel bade the remaining Nightwings take the Black Wagon and seek their fortunes elsewhere in the downside. There, parting with heartfelt but brief. He remained there at the summit of Mount Elodial with Celeste, where the two of them would chronicle the final outcome of the cycle. Neither Tarek nor Celeste were ever seen again. We know all this now through song attributed to them. Some claim these songs originated in the taverns of the Sarian Union and merely were imbued with the weight of folklore. However, exiles liberated from downside corroborated each other's claims of having met this duo that presided over the liberation rites. Another folktale suggests these minstrels were heralds of the scribe. Having fulfilled their obligations, they departed the world we know and rejoined their patrons.
I would not be surprised if they had taken their songs of what had happened to the liberation rites, went up to the Union, sang them, and then disappeared.
So we don't know that they have any godly powers.
Yeah.
One of their famous songs describes another, simpler outcome, that the two gave up their duties to the rites in favor of a life they could share together. In any case, they are likely to remain the subject of such verses and songs, for it was they who watched over the rites and ushered in our times. There is one more account which warrants mention. The Nightwings conducted the rites under the guidance of a reader. Little is known of her. However, some accounts of her begin to paint a picture. We know she was of common birth, weak-framed though raised with a penchant for learning. The journey to the downside left her close to death. It was then that the Nightwings found her. They brought her from the brink. She showed them the path. She pressed onward with the others. She had made a vow to help her friends be free. Thus did the cycle of the rites commence its final turns. When the final rite arrived, the reader's freedom was at stake. In the end, however, she remained in exile. From that point on, accounts of her diverge. It is said that the voice, which troubled her, she never heard again. Some say she sailed across the Sea of Solace, though whether that is true only she knows. Someday, perhaps, that reader's own star shall emerge. Then it shall pierce the dark of night in all its brilliant glory. Until such time, and ever after, all of us give thanks. On the barren waste where the reader arrived. This song is fantastic for the theming. Just listen to it.
I am.
They say it's also got different versions depending on the endings.
So, but also what you choose for your own.
Yep.
Your own pronouns in this game.
Yep. We follow the stars, bound together. Headwind.
Yeah. He's not the first one we released though, so this is not in release order.
The Nightwings who haven't broken the cycle. No, it's order of appearance, I think.
Yeah.
Headwind. T-Zone there. Yeah, this is not the version that's on Spotify. Many a foundling. It's funny. We follow the stars, bound together, strands in a braid till the end. The Moon Touch Girl is what they call her. Hey, Teasel.
Isn't that Headwind in the background?
Probably. Teasel. Oh, okay.
I wouldn't mind playing this again.
Probably not on stream.
No.
Sir killed in the hole.
I am not skipping this. I want to listen to the music.
Supergiant deserves the copyright if I get nailed for this one.
She looks so happy. Green tail. And how much you want to bet? That's Headwind again.
Yeah, seasickness, yep.
I love how Headwind shows up in everything.
In order of appearance. Logan Cunningham is gonna show up like 50 times. Logan Cunningham plays Bertrude? I never would have guessed. Wilfred Sandal, woods on his plane turn to action.
Ah, look. It looks like it is her hair. So I think it's like long actual hair with the snakes.
The reader at last. Remain to the end because you guys stayed in the downside.
Yeah, because you always have a choice at the end.
Bound together. Bound together. Strands in a braid till the end.
I like that.
Mhm.
That I would take as like artwork and put it on the wall. So I wonder what happens if you free other people and no one from your party.
I can tell you what the sound sound like.
You did that?
No, but I think the Spotify version has that as the song.
Okay.
It's the most basic version where they don't have to modify any of the lyrics. So
Yeah.
I can tell you what happens if you save Orlek at the end.
Okay. What happens?
He helps you guys in the revolution.
Oh.
He shows up and I believe quiets down the fighting, telling them that the Nightwings are in fact worthy of the people's trust because they trusted him.
The library.
Oh yeah, that almost slipped my notice. Yeah, that is a library, which is incredibly important for the the story.
Yeah. Not to mention all the stars on the floor.
And the symbol of the
Campaign mode unlocked.
true Nightwing campaign mode unlocked.
What's that?
We can check it out. Pretty sure it's just New Game Plus. It's in campaign mode.
Okay, so if I go here.
Go to the Fall of Solium. Wait. Go back up, let me read. I guess not.
What if I went to a new profile? Maybe it's sitting in the settings. Options. No.
That's the multiplayer mode.
Yeah. You beat my butt.
What are the achievements?
Is it because I did only Nightwings?
No, I did that too. I have the platinum for this, I just don't remember it. So I guess go to the trophies.
So like here.
Oh, we didn't get anything new. I gotta go find Pyre in here. Ooh, baby.
Well, you said you planned it.
Yeah, so we wouldn't have gotten anything new.
Yeah.
I wish there was a search function. Sid, let me know if you see it go by.
It's going a little quick for my brain. I can't make out half of what's going by.
Oh, I got a good idea of how to find it. Okay.
Why don't you go to your platinum trophies?
Because you can't actually, like, change the category.
Oh.
Tales from the Border. Oh, yeah? Did I?
Yeah. I remember you doing that.
This is not a flex, folk. I'm looking for something. Why did I do that with Tales of the Borderlands? That was such a mega game.
Because you
like,
kept going back and redoing
Yeah,
everything.
I guess I did it. Does that mean I beat the game as... It's not in here.
Yeah, because it'd be amongst the T's, right?
They're all T's.
Yeah, that's true.
No, it's just not in here. Interesting. Because True Nightmare Nightwings would have been a... Okay, that's all earned. Earned date. It's not that. Is it just a trophy that doesn't exist, or do I need to upload it?
There's true freedom.
That's the basic one. Allegedly, it's the same thing, but like in the super hard mode. And I'm fairly certain that I didn't beat the game in super hard mode. Okay, that's not going to do anything for us.
Well,
Well-
it's just going back to the very end, right?
Yeah, it's just right before the last liberation, right? I guess that's going to be it for today. Hey, we're done for the day anyway. That's it for Pyre, which means the next Tuesday we are playing Tales of Vesperia.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Ada got
that's
two
it.
in-betweens.
I like the in-betweens.
Anyway, before we go, let's talk about Operation Olive Branch, which is a charity/relief organization that collects funds to try and help evacuate people from Palestine and other areas undergoing genocides. You can donate to the GoFundMe by typing in to the Twitch chat !OOB. It'll give you two links. One is the GoFundMe. Please donate $5 if you have more than $1,000 in your bank account, or $1 if you have less than $1,000 in your bank account, or if you've had, if you've already donated because I've asked you to. Otherwise, if you have any questions that I asked that I can't answer right now, you got the Linktree link. That is the second one. Ada, do you have any modifications you want to do to your list, or are you good?
I think I'm good.
I thought so too. Like, we were at the end of the game, so the character development was pretty done. Yeah, so peace out, folks. Love you, and see you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Eastern Time with some more Catherine Fullbody from Palestine, people.